All right. Greetings and welcome to my YouTube channel, One Who Sees Tarot. This is going to be a general reading for all 12 signs for the month of September 2021. Now, I am going to post all of the 12 signs. That is my assignment for this weekend. I'm going to post for each of the zodiac signs for the month of September, but I needed to come and speak with all of you first regarding all of us and seeing where we all are for the month of September. We all have been surrounded by this pandemic situation, and no doubt we may have been touched by the loss of a loved one, both near and far, and certainly the idea of mortality has come to our attention more now so than any time in my lifetime as far as I can remember. And so even I think it was about 6 weeks ago, I lost a friend of mine. He transitioned. I hadn't heard from him in a while, but I saw it on Facebook, and I was awakened by that. And then I heard about another relative of a friend who was 26 years old who had a heart attack and passed away. And then no more than just this evening, I heard about someone who was a young person who had a heart attack and passed on, transitioned, I should say. And so I am very, very inspired to live, and I'm very inspired to work while I can. I am not afraid of death, that which we call death. I don't know enough about it to be afraid of it. I am a spirit living in this human body, and I'm talking to you, and you are spirit living in those human bodies out there. And so this is why we all have to have a transition period where we leave this expression and go on to another expression. What I hope for when I hope for longevity, I hope that I have more time to study. I am conscious in this expression, and I want to use this time that I have to study and be prepared as well as I can to enter into the transition when it is my turn. I say all that to talk about your talents and your gifts. I'm doing some wonderful stuff with a group of clients, and there are still more openings for those of you that are interested. I'm doing individual coaching sessions. A lot of the individual coaching sessions centers around identity, understanding who you are, understanding your place in the universe, understanding your purpose on this earth. Much of it has to do with finding your gifts and your talents. I am very much impressed in my spirit that many of you are gifted spiritually, gifted, psychic gifted, metaphysically gifted, whatever way you want to perceive it and explain it. But we all need some guidance sometime. I am saying, and I'm extending an invitation to all of you, come on and come into this circle. Join us in this circle and learn about your spiritual gifts. Learn about setting goals and having direction and taking control of your life, your mind, and your being. Learn about mindfulness. That's what we're studying in these coaching sessions. I am also inviting, some of you have not been in for a reading in a while. That is your prerogative, but I'm telling you, we just did a series of readings the last month, the first and second week of August, and they were amazing. They were amazing. I know they were amazing coming through me, and my clients who came in for readings, they participated and gave testimony about the accuracy that the Spirit brought to those readings. So I say all that to invite all of you. Let me get started with the actual tarot. I just want to make sure that I talk to all of you because we need to all wake up. We need to all find our place, find our gifts that were given to us, just like this gift of life. And we need to use our gifts. Spirit guide has already been invoked and the cards have been anointed, shuffled, and cut. according to the amount of times and directions given to me by my spirit guide. And so with your kind permission, may I begin a look at and an interpretation of the sacred tarot for you for this time cycle. Some of you are getting ready to teach a young person about driving. There's some new drivers that are out there in the spirit. I see you and I sense you, and it's going to be a good time for you. This is a good time, September and October, to get your driving lessons in. I sensed it. I said it. I do see as we enter into this cycle, this is an ending of a cycle for many of us. Some of us are getting ready to enter into a new cycle. Some of us have 6-year cycles, 7-year cycles, 8 and 9-year cycles. It depends on where you are and where, what's going on with your astrological chart, etc., and your chronological age. But we're all entering into a new cycle. We're getting ready for 2022. As I'm looking at this world card, I'm looking at 2022 open. I'm looking at 2022 open up for us. It's an opening. It's opening up for us. We have been going through this rushing. Some of us have been rushing, and we feel like we're being rushed as well. We feel this push. We feel this nervous tension type of thing. A lot of that is centered around employment. I will say that I see a successful interview for those of us who are looking for employment. Now listen to me carefully. This interview that you're going to have, this presentation that you're going to make, it's not necessarily going to bring you the enormous money, right? The riches that you deserve and that you desire. This is not that. This is the beginning of something. This is the beginning of the opening, right? The blossoming, if you will, of this opportunity to make money. But it will also lead you on a path that will give you some truth about your destiny. Sometimes we go left in order for us to get back on the right path. Sometimes we go right in order for the Spirit to lead us onto the left path. Take the journey, enjoy the journey, enjoy the day. Some of us are not at peace right now. We're ready to make some moves, want to do some things. I will say, Spirit is showing me a series of cards that have to do with you and your mastery. Has a lot to do with you writing your goals, writing your ambitions, writing your plan. Here again. This is something that we delve very deeply into during these coaching sessions. This idea of planning, this idea of monitoring and auditing your plans and your goals. This is very, very serious stuff. It's not for everybody. And many people are listening to me, and you're thinking about it, but you really need to consider it. So I understand if you don't do it because you have to put a lot of work into it. I get it. Some of you are getting ready to expect a very nice surprise during this month of September. I do see that. I see where some of you are going to have a lot of work. Some of you will, you may have been in a situation where things were quiet for a while, perhaps because of the pandemic. Some of you are returning to work. Some of you are returning to a different type of work. And there's a lot going on as far as energies are concerned. We start this month in Virgo with the Virgo energies, right? And Virgo energies are about organizing, cleaning up, getting things together. And I see that in the tarot. I see the 7 of Wands upright, which is about organizing and handling a lot of different things. And then we move right into this Libra energy. And this Libra energy is going to bring us to this place of balance, communications. So first we clean up stuff, and then we communicate that which we want to fill that space that we just cleaned. What we want and what we don't want. This balancing is going on. And then as we get to the end or the latter part of September, we have that full moon in Pisces. Very spiritual time. You do need to come in for a consult. I'm talking to you. Just that one person that I'm looking at. Okay. I do see some conflict going on in the office. There is some kind of talk going back and forth. Yep. But I also see that it's not going to affect you in a negative way. In fact, this is going to be a time when you're going to be even more inspired to love yourself. I love that. And some of you are heading in an area right now You're dealing with some situations. You are going to have to make some changes. You are going to have to wake up, and you're going to have to see some things and see some people, and you're going to have to accept those things and those people for who they are. Everybody's not going to change at the same pace that you change. There is something going on as far as stability, but this stability brings with it, some kind of challenges that you're going to have to address. If you come in for a reading, I'll explain it to you. Some of you are getting ready to do some wonderful things as it relates to children. Some of you are getting ready to do some wonderful things as it relates to children. Some of you are entering into relationships where there are children. Some of you are going back to work in schools where there are children. See that. Okay. Some of you are dealing with some legal issues. You need to talk to me. This is not necessarily the best time for that. Not necessarily the best time for that, particularly if you are a Libra. You might want to reach out and talk to me. I do see a lot of you are going to break free. A lot of us are going to break free. A lot of us are going to get over something. A lot of us are going to leave some things behind and let it go. A lot of us are getting ready to get into this self-love, as I mentioned a few moments ago. This idea of not being so willing, open, and giving with your time, your money, and your energy. Some of you are going to let some things go. Some of you are getting ready to spend some money on yourself. And some of us are actually getting ready to take a break from fighting so much, a break from trying so hard to make things work. I definitely see that. I also see there's going to be some fun for those of you that have been shut in for a while. There's getting ready to be some fun and some good times. Those of you that have not had fun and good times, you know what I'm talking about. In some time, there's going to be some fun and good times for you. Some of you are not. Some of you need to be a little more creative, a little more open-minded, if you will. And some of you, particularly if you are a female listening to this reading, would you be so kind as to reach out to me and just tell me that you're interested in the message that I'm giving for the September reading? I see you making some moves, and I see that you need to make some moves quietly. Shh, just do it. Just do what you're going to do. Don't talk about it, and don't try to take everybody with you. This is also a good time for rebuilding. So you might be going through that Virgo energy of cleansing, and that cleansing might actually start from the inside of you as you begin to rebuild your immune system, as you begin to rebuild positive habits, as you begin to rebuild those goals that you left behind. Now you're going to say, wait a minute, let's get started again. And there's nothing wrong with getting started again and again and again and again. Keep going until you reach your destiny. The Sun card is your final outcome card. It's in your final outcome, and it is talking about overall life and energy. I was doing some research this weekend, or this past weekend I should say, looking at life and energy and the electrical impulses that go through the body. And the sun kept coming up as an energy providing source. It is the biggest and the most powerful energy providing source for this planet. The sun is the last card that we're looking at in this brief reading, and the sun card is about energy and it's about life. So even though we're going into the autumn on this side of the hemisphere, we're going into the fall season, this is going to be a time that's going to feel a lot like spring for many of us, because there's this new life. There's this new energy that we're getting ready to experience. You dig? And so this is going to be really, really great. If I were you, and I'm not you, I get it, but I'm certainly welcoming you to come in for a private consult. Stay blessed, my friends.